The first time he noticed her, she was arguing with a vending machine, not loudly, not dramatically. Just stubbornly. "You took my money," she said, tapping the glass like it had feelings. "The least you can do is give me the chocolate." He stood a few feet away, pretending to check his phone, but really watching her. There was something oddly brave about arguing with something that couldn't answer back. After a few seconds, he walked over. "Try hitting the side," he said. She glanced at him. "Violence isn't always the answer." "Yeah," he shrugged, "but with vending machines, it's kind of the only language they understand." She stared at the machine again, then at him. "Fine. But if this works, I'm still morally against it." He smiled. "Of course." She gave the machine one solid push, nothing, then another, still nothing, then, with one final, determined shove, clunk. The chocolate bar dropped. She froze, then slowly turned to him. "I feel like I betrayed my principles." He laughed. "You're welcome." She picked up the chocolate, held it like it had just been rescued from a disaster, then broke it in half and handed him a piece. "Shared guilt," she said. "That was how it started." They didn't exchange numbers that day, they didn't even exchange names. But the next evening, at exactly 10:07 p.m., she was there again, same vending machine. "Different snack." "You again," he said. She didn't look surprised. "You again. What's the plan today? Another moral dilemma?" She pointed. "It owes me chips now." He leaned against the wall. "You know, you could just bring money that works." "Or," she said, "I could hold it accountable." He laughed. "Fair enough." That became their thing. Every night at 10:07 p.m., they'd meet by the vending machine. Sometimes it worked. Sometimes it didn't, sometimes they bought snacks. He learned that she liked late night walks but was scared of dogs. She learned that he pretended to understand math but absolutely didn't. He told her he hated mornings. She told him she loved sunsets. He started looking forward to 10:07 more than anything else in his day, and he didn't even know her name. One night, it rained, hard, the kind of rain that makes the world feel smaller. He almost didn't go. But something told him to. So he stood there, soaked, under the weak shelter near the vending machine. 10:07 p.m., no one. 10:08, still no one. He told himself it was fine, she had a life. Of course she wouldn't come every day. 10:09, he turned to leave. "Hey." He stopped. She was there, running toward him, slightly out of breath, holding a broken umbrella. "You came," he said. She frowned. "Of course I came. It's raining." "So?" "You hate rain." "I hate being late more." He blinked, then smiled. "Fair point." She stood next to him, dripping water onto the ground, trying to fix her umbrella. "It gave up on me halfway," she muttered, "like the vending machine." "Exactly." He hesitated for a second, then slowly took off his hoodie and held it over her head. She looked up at him. "You'll get wet." "I'm already wet." "That's not a good argument." "It's the only one I have." She didn't move away, neither did he, and for the first time, the silence between them felt different, not awkward, not empty. Just full. "Why 10:07? He asked suddenly. She tilted her head. "What? Why do you always come at exactly 10:07? She looked at the ground for a moment, then smiled, but softer this time. "When I was younger," she said, "my dad used to call me every night at 10:07. "Why that time?" He said it was random enough to feel special. "And?" She shrugged. He stopped calling. "Oh. Yeah." They stood quietly for a second, then she nudged him. "Your turn. Why do you come at 10:07? He thought about it, then said, "Honestly, because you're there." She didn't say anything, but she didn't look away either. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into something that felt a lot like a routine. But better, they started bringing snacks instead of buying them. They sat on the floor sometimes, leaning against the wall, sharing stories. They argued about random things, movies, music, whether pineapple belonged on pizza. He started noticing the little things, the way she smiled when she was about to prove a point, the way she paused before saying something important, the way 10:07 didn't feel like a time anymore, it felt like a place. One night, she didn't show up. 10:07, nothing. 10:08, still nothing. 10:09, he waited longer this time. 10:15, 10:20, 10:30, she didn't come. The next night, nothing. The night after that, still nothing. He told himself not to overthink it, but he did, every night. On the fourth night, he almost didn't go, but habits are hard to break, so he stood there again, staring at the vending machine. 10:07 p.m., silence. But you're still here. He turned, she was standing a few steps away, not smiling, not joking, just. There, you disappeared, he said. She nodded. I know. Why? She hesitated, then said, I'm leaving. The words landed heavier than he expected. Leaving? Tomorrow. Oh. I didn't know how to tell you. He looked at her. You could have just told me. I know. Instead, you vanished for 3 days. I needed time to figure out what to say. And did you? She shook her head, not really. They stood in silence again, but this time, it wasn't comfortable. Where are you going? He asked. Another city. Far? Far enough. He nodded slowly, then laughed, but it didn't sound like him. That's great. It's not great. It sounds great. It's not. Then why go? She looked at him. Because sometimes you don't get to choose the timing of things. He didn't respond, because he knew that was true. She walked over to the vending machine, took out some coins, inserted them, pressed a button, the machine hummed, then, clunk, a chocolate bar dropped. She picked it up, broke it in half, handed him a piece. Shared guilt, she said softly. He took it, but didn't smile this time. I never asked your name, he said. She looked at him. Me neither. Maybe we should fix that. Maybe we shouldn't. Why not? She took a deep breath, because some things are better remembered than defined. He frowned. That doesn't make sense. It will. They sat down on the floor one last time. 10:07 p.m. slowly turning into 10:20, then 10:30. Neither of them wanted to leave first. Do you think we'll ever meet again? He asked. She smiled faintly. I think. If we're meant to, we will. That's a very vague answer. It's the only one I have. At 10:47, she stood up. The next night, he still went at 10:07 p.m. No one, but he stayed, just for a while, just in case. Months passed, life moved on the way it always does, fast and slow at the same time. He stopped going every night, then stopped going at all. But sometimes, at exactly 10:07 p.m., he'd look at the time and think of her, the girl who argued with vending machines, the girl who showed up in the rain, the girl whose name he never knew. One evening, months later, he found himself walking past that same place. He didn't plan to stop, but his feet did anyway. Bold habits. He glanced at the time, 10:06 p.m. He almost laughed. This is stupid, he muttered, but he stayed, just for 1 minute. 10:07, silence. He nodded to himself. Yeah. Of course. He turned to leave. Still here? He froze, slowly turned around, and there she was, same eyes, same smile, different city, same 10:07. You came back, he said. She shrugged. Random enough to feel special, right? He laughed, actually laughed. For the record, he said, I still don't know your name. She stepped closer. This time, she said, you can ask. He smiled. Okay. And for the first time, 10:07 felt like a beginning.